What's up everybody, the Blue Fang here, and today I'm back starting yet a new what if, which will be on what I think would happen if Naruto was an experiment. I really hope this idea does well since I think it could come out very interesting. Another thing is that I know I said in the community tab about Danzo being a main part, but I decided for Orochimaru to be the main part with not that much Danzo. So if you guys wanted Danzo, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so the like goal for this video will be 110 likes for a new part. Now before I get into the background information, subscribe if you're new, hit that like button and turn on bell notifications. So with no further ado, let's get into the video. Now the way this what if is going to go is that pretty much the same thing happens with Naruto's past, with the Nine Tails attack and his parents' deaths. And I'm also going to set this what if around 8 years after the attack, meaning Orochimaru is probably in the Akatsuki at this time. Also, Orochimaru's character is still the same, with him being creepy and all of that stuff. Now we go into the story of Orochimaru getting information from Kabuto about a Jinchuriki from the Leaf Village, specifically the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. Why did you tell me this, Kabuto? I don't really care about this information, I only want the Sharingan. Kabuto positions his glasses correctly on his eyes. So think this through, the Leaf has the Nine Tails Jinchuriki in their grasp. A Jinchuriki, they could train him to use his abilities properly and it will be no match to attack the Leaf. Orochimaru places his hand on his chin, looking pretty interested now. Are you saying that we take the Jinchuriki for ourselves? If so, I kind of like the idea. Kabuto nods his head and explains more details on this plan, talking about how they could experiment with him and make him strong enough to become a backup body for Orochimaru or the ultimate soldier they could use. He also puts in that they shouldn't tell the Akatsuki about this, since they're basically looking for Jinchurikis. After that, Orochimaru accepts the idea and sends Kabuto off to hunt down Naruto. He forms a wide grin on his face, licking his lips ready to start the new experiment. We cut to a Leaf Village with Naruto getting harassed by some local villagers. He's only 8 years old at the time, but they still continue to call him a monster, demon, and all the rest of the mean things they call him in the original. But Naruto doesn't just sit around for them to harass him. Quit it guys or I'll beat you up. I'm going to become the Hokage one day and you're the first ones who might see my amazing skill. Naruto smiles as he says this, lifting up his hand. One of the villagers just laughs. Don't make me laugh, you stupid demon. Hope you die one day. Naruto hears this and starts to get angry. He thinks that's where they crossed the line, saying they wished him dead. He closes his eyes scared, but he runs straight towards the thugs. He throws some punches and then opens his eyes, taking sight of the villagers now on the ground. They look all beat up, and that's when Naruto thinks that he's dealt with them all by himself. Are you Naruto Uzumaki? Naruto hears a voice from behind him and turned around quickly, staring at a young man with grey hair and glasses. Yes, I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and if you want to make fun of me too, I'll deal with you the same way I dealt with those guys behind me. Kabuto chuckles at the fact that Naruto thinks he beat those guys himself, but he doesn't tell Naruto that he was the one who did it. Naruto Uzumaki, I want you to come with me. I heard you want to become Hokage, right? Well, Hokages are strong, and my master will give you a lot of powers if you just come with me. Naruto, being only 8 years old, doesn't think that much about the bad things that might happen if he goes with Kabuto. Will I get to come back to the Leaf? Kabuto forms a grin. Heh, of course you will. Naruto then tells Kabuto that he will go with him to see his master. Kabuto nods his head, and inside he's proud to have gotten the Nine Tails Jinchuriki so easily. Sometime later, when Kabuto and Naruto left the village, some journey ninjas go to see Hiruzen, hearing the news about Naruto Uzumaki missing. They explain to him that Naruto hasn't been found for a while in Konoha, telling him that they checked his house and he wasn't there. Hiruzen orders the journey to get more shinobi to put out a search team so they could look for Naruto, and as the journey leave, Hiruzen looks down thinking about Minato and Kushina and how he let their son go missing. I'm sorry, Minato, Kushina. I promise I'll find him so the team could bring him back to the village safely. We cut to the entrance of Orochimaru's lab with Kabuto guiding Naruto inside. While they were walking to the location, Kabuto was explaining to Naruto about a lot of things like what the Sound Village is, basic combat information, and telling him that he works as a spy. Naruto, being young, thinks that Kabuto's job is really cool since it would be interesting infiltrating villages as a spy. When they walk in, the lab is all dark, humid, and it smells of chemicals. They continue walking until Naruto turns sideways and notices Kabuto is not there with him. Now he's all alone in the lab. Naruto then looks ahead to see a figure walking towards him. He has long black hair, creepy expression, and a snake-like appearance. Naruto takes steps backwards, feeling scared. Don't worry, Naruto. I think Kabuto told you about me. My name is Orochimaru and I'll help you achieve your goals. If only you come with me. Naruto realizes that this is Kabuto's master he was talking about and forms a smile, running straight towards Orochimaru, ready to acquire this power. But making sure Naruto wasn't looking, Orochimaru forms an evil smile and signals Kabuto to start the move. Kabuto comes out of nowhere and unleashes a Genjutsu on Naruto, making him fall asleep. Orochimaru then lets out an evil laugh as he drags Naruto to perform his experiment. As we go into the experiment room, Naruto is left in a pod, unconscious, as Orochimaru is getting ready to perform on his new test object. He sent out Kabuto to monitor the outside of the Sound Village so he could take care of anybody that might be looking for Naruto, which would mean that Kabuto's mission is to kill off any of Hiruzen's journey that plan to take Naruto back to the village. Orochimaru orders that since he plans to do so many things with Naruto and hopes he doesn't get interrupted. First, Orochimaru injects Naruto with some Hashirama cells to increase his healing, durability, speed, and give him the option to use wood release. Inside of Naruto though, Kurama doesn't do anything about the cells and doesn't really care, thinking that Naruto has a greater chance of survival with them, meaning that himself has a greater chance of survival as well. Also, Orochimaru is surprised he didn't fail, since many times before experimenting with Hashirama cells, his test subjects would always fail, except one who we know as Yamato, and now another who is Naruto. After Orochimaru completes giving Naruto Hashirama cells, next is the Sharingan. You guys may be wondering where Orochimaru got this Sharingan from, but I'll tell you. So Orochimaru got the Sharingan when he was working with Danzo so he could implant the Sharingan on Danzo's arm, and he got the Sharingans from the Uchiha massacre. Orochimaru betrayed them and managed to get one Sharingan, but the rest was still implanted on Danzo's arm. But Orochimaru now thinks it's all good since he found a test object that is a Jinchuriki, so he doesn't need two Sharingans. He gets the Sharingan eye in his grip, ready to implant it in Naruto. As Orochimaru implants it, Naruto wakes up midway, surprising him, and Naruto starts to scream in horror as he gets a new eye inside of him. Quickly, Orochimaru puts Naruto in a Genjutsu, paralyzing him so he can't move. Moments later, he finishes up and explains to Naruto about the power that has been given to him. For some time, Naruto is frozen in shock, but he then goes over to a mirror that is in the lab and looks at himself, taking the sight of his new Sharingan. So, Mr. Orochimaru, could this power make me become the Hokage one day? Orochimaru smiles. Of course, Naruto, but first you'll need to train here for a while. Naruto nods his head and sits down to rest. By now, Orochimaru needs to train Naruto to use his new abilities and also train him to become evil by using powers on the Leaf Village just for Orochimaru. We cut 4 years later with Naruto getting ready for the battle that he's about to have. On the other side, Kimimaro is also readying up to use everything that he has got. It's a battle to the death since Orochimaru has to decide which will be his new body or his ultimate weapon. He knows that Naruto is going to win since Kimimaro is becoming sick, but he made them fight so he could see how much Naruto has learned during these years. In Naruto's perspective, he thinks Orochimaru will let him go back to the village after this battle, after he wins, if he does. The two fighters wait for some time, and then they dash at each other with Orochimaru's command. Naruto sees all of Kimimara's attacks easily with his one Sharingan, making him dodge quicker, also getting the upper hand. Naruto races to the side, sending wood attacks, hoping to catch Kimimaro off guard, but Kimimaro sees this quickly, slicing all of the wood up, using his Bone Keki Genkai. As Kimimaro continues slicing the incoming wood, Naruto appears behind him, sending another wood attack. Kimimaro tries to dodge this, but his sickness kicks in, slowing him down and making him get impaled by the wood. He gets sent into the ground defeated. Blood spills out of his body as he starts to die. Watching the Sound Fool look in horror as they see their strongest friend get defeated so easily. Naruto looks up at Orochimaru in triumph, knowing that he'll finally go back to Konoha now, but we know that Orochimaru has an evil plan up his sleeve ready to be taken action of. Alright guys, I'll end it off here for today. Hopefully you did enjoy it, and if you did, remember to get this video up to 110 likes. I really think this idea could make a pretty good story in the future, so hopefully you guys hit the like goal. Like always, subscribe if you're new, hit that like button and turn on bell notifications. My Discord link will be in the description below, so be sure to join it. It's been the Blue Fang, peace.
I just kill them with kindness, yeah, we leave them deceased and tell it like it is, and now you gotta compete. Show me what up. Back down. You think it's a game right now, but it ain't the same right now. Know my name right now. You think it's a game right now, but it ain't the same right now.